All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Southern Broadcasting Gaming Network. I am Richard Hurst, and tonight we are back with the American Sheepdog Racing, and they are here at Indianapolis. Now, we were at Indianapolis, what was it? Last night. Yeah, we're back again here today. Sorry, got all my days mixed up. And tonight, sitting on the pole, and he is going to get the pole award, is going to be Mr. Bill Stringfellow. So welcome back to the Wall of Pole Awards as we get ready to grid in here tonight. So Bill Stringfellow, we know, is going to start on the pole, but there are a lot of fast drivers here. We're going to have 80 laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and let's take a look at that grid in qualifying. And you got Bill Stringfellow and Dakota Camper. Nice. Appreciate that being on the YouTube and the Roku side. But you got Bill Stringfellow and Dakota Camper on road number 1. Road number 2 is looking like Brian Hennings and Ryan Gomes. Welcome back, all the drivers. And James Jones is going to be sitting in row number 3 along with Matthew Gall, Mr. Matman. James Wagner and Johnny Hurst are going to be sitting in row number 4. Row number 5 is looking like Ricky Evans and Jason Brent. Row number 6 is looking like Larry Fairman and Stephen Shue. Row number 7 is going to be Miss Teresa Spiker and Mike Chivers. Row number 8 is Chris Phillips and Chris Melton. Row number 9 is going to be Blake Witkowski and William Britton. Jeff Scott and Greg Spiker are going to be wrapping up row number 10. And last but not least is going to be the Collinator sitting back here starting from the rear. He had a few technical issues, but he should be able to make up a few positions, especially here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as this track is very draft dependent. You're going to have a lot of fuel strategies and probably tire strategies going on, and we are on that formation lap. Well, once again, I do believe we're going to have 80 laps here. Going to have about 16 laps to a tank of fuel, so there's probably going to be some stretching of the fuel. But if you're just now joining us, we want to appreciate y'all stopping by over here at the Southern Broadcasting Gaming Network on the YouTube side. And don't forget, we do have that Roku channel, so definitely get out there and download that channel. And we'll probably get some giveaways here in the near future, so definitely stay tuned as we get all that worked out. You'll be the first to know about it. And here we go. We're going to get ready to take that green flag as the pace car, I believe, is going to be in turn number 3. STK has not been working well with me. Oh, no, they're in turn number 4. So the pace car will dive off, and we'll get ready to go some green flag racing here with the American Sheepdog. Bill Stringfellow bringing them to the Geico restart zone, and it is going to be green flag. Oh, Lord. What is that? And a green flag is going to be out. Bill Stringfellow trying to get his car out front. He's got about a 1-car advantage, and we'll go ahead and hide that. And he is going to go into turn number 1, and he is going to sail it down to that white line. And here comes Brian Hennings. He's going to work himself up in 3rd position. Brian Hennings has the flames on the car, so he's definitely going to crank up the heat tonight. And there you have Dakota Camper. He's going to be sitting right there in 2nd. We got a little bit of side-by-side battle going on back here towards the middle of the pack, and I believe that is going to be, looks like the 51 or the 11. Oh, no, that's the 58. I'm sorry, that's going to be Mr. Johnny Hurst. He's looking to the inside of old James Wagner, and he is going to be able to take that position as they come into turn number 4. Lap number 1 is almost complete, and Johnny Hurst is already going to move himself up 1 position. You got Larry Fairman working himself up 3 positions as they come down that front stretch, and it is one long line as far as the eye can see. And I do believe that's going to be Blake Witkowski. Nope, that's going to be further up. Everybody's got new paint schemes, and it's weird seeing them in the next-gen cars. This is their first season in the next-gen cars. Oh, we got somebody out of shape. And that is going to be, I believe, Jeff Scott. He is going to be a little bit out of shape. Old Giggity Carl, he's going to take it down the access road. And, oh, no. And he is going to bounce it off the wall. But back out front is going to be Bill Stringfellow. He's going to have a half a second out in front of Dakota Camper as they come out of turn number two, or excuse me, out of turn number one into turn number two. And they're going to start that long stretch. Wow, I totally messed that up. That is turn number 4 as we were watching Jeff Scott. But as you can see, Bill Stringfellow going to be out front. American Sheepdog, he's going to have a 0.7 of a second lead over Dakota Camper. And then we're going to see Brian Hennings. He's going to be about a 1.2 seconds back from Bill Stringfellow. And change it a little bit up as we go through the field. Ryan Gomes, he's going to have about a 0.3 of a second gap in between him and Brian Hennings. So it's a little bit of it's just a little bit of single file racing here as we are coming to a close of lap number 3. Bill Stringfellow going to bring him to the line and start lap number 4. So far, he has led every lap. The biggest mover of the race so far is going to be Chris Phillips. He is going to be up 7 positions from where he started this race. Well, if you haven't tuned in before to the American Sheepdog, they put on a lot of green flag racing. They took away those fast repairs, and they pretty much, you race what you brung. And if you beat it up, you got to sit in the pits and fix it up. And so far, it's working out as we have a little bit of challenge. It looks like Chris Melton, he's looking to the inside in his number 49 Ford. Now, there are not a lot of Fords. There's only 2 Fords in the race and 1 lonely Toyota, and that is going to be Ricky Evans as he is racing in VR tonight. And he is back here possibly saving fuel. He's going to be down 10 positions from where he started, but that's all right. He's got David Collins and I believe he retired his car. He had a few issues, wasn't able to get it straightened out, I guess, and he has retired his car. Dakota Camper's falling back to 1.7 seconds. He's got Brian Hennings really cranking up the heat as they come out of turn number 1 into turn number 2. And Ryan Gomes, he's going to be right there in that 55 car, that Cat Chevrolet. And James Jones in that number 45, he is working in that draft in that 5th position. Johnny Hurst is going to be up 2 in 6th. You got Matt Mann. He is going to be right there in 7th. He's going to be down 1 position, but it's still going to be a long race. I'm sorry, it is 60 laps, not 80 laps. But Chris Phillips going to be the biggest mover of the race. He is right now holding down the 8th position. He has got his eyes set on Gall as somebody is going to be out of shape and they're going to head towards pit road, and he almost missed it. And we're going to back that up and see exactly what happened to that number 11 Chevrolet. It looks like he is going to be out of shape coming out of turn number 4. And right there, that car just breaks loose. It couldn't take the power. And he is going to be all out of shape. What a save. So far, this is going to be the save of the night. And let's see if he may get a black flag for unsafe pit entry, because I do believe he went behind the commitment cone. So he may get a black flag for that. Don't exactly know, but we'll have to keep an eye on that as he is still out there on the track. What an amazing save by Larry Fairman. Bill Stringfellow now stretching his lead out to 2.6 seconds, and now he has put the fastest lap out there on the track of 54.129 for Bill Stringfellow. So far, nobody has been able to match his speed, as this guy is one of the best behind the wheel of the Cup car as he comes down the backstretch, stretching that lead now to 2.5 seconds, and the clean air is definitely helping him. You got a 5-car train back here with Dakota Camper, Ryan Gomes, Brian Hennings fell down 1 spot, James Jones, and you have Johnny Hurst all in a row trying to really track down the leader of Bill Stringfellow. Glad to see everybody out back on the track. Glad to see American Sheepdog really start off very strong with 21 drivers loaded into tonight's race. We still have everybody out there on the track except for 2. So 18 cars out there on the track, and they are making it happen. And we got a little bit of a challenge for the second position, and that is going to be Ryan Gomes. He's looking to the outside. Now he's got the door open for Brian Hennings. Is he going to be able to make the pass? Nope. Here they come down the backstretch. Single file. But it looks like Brian Hennings is going to have a nice run coming into turn number 3. Is he going to be able to get there? Is he going to dive it to the inside? No. Ryan Gomes is going to open up the door on the outside. Diving it down to that white line as he is trying to catch up to that back bumper of Dakota Camper, and he's not going to be able to get there. Now he's going to peek again for that low line, taking it all the way down to the white line. But he cannot get the entrance into turn number 1, and that is due to a little bit of dirty air as these drivers really battle it out back here for a second. Stringfellow has stretched out his lead to 2.8 seconds. Every single lap he has put down more and more, as these 5 drivers right here are pretty much battling for the same real estate. Chris Phillips up 8 positions. He was able to get around the 78. We should see drivers really stick it out for fuel mileage. Well, green flag racing it has been here at lap number 9, and our leader is bringing it to lap number 10 as he comes out of turn number 4. And we're going to start off with lap number 10, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of tonight's sponsors. Returning back to us is going to be Rev Sim Shop, so stand by for SBGN Nonstop.
Redline Motorsports Media can help you fulfill all of your motorsports industry, photography, and videography needs. Contact Redline Motorsports Media, where everything we do is driven by you.
All right, our returning sponsors, that is going to be Rev Sim Shop and Redline Motorsports Media, returning back to ASDR, and we do have a new affiliate program, and that is going to be with Western. And for all your Western wear, we do have a discount code. If you click on the link in the chat, it will take you directly to their website and give you 10% off of all your Western wear needs. So we definitely want to give a shout out to all those sponsors that are on board. You got James Wagner Welding, Redline Motorsports Media, Rev Sim Shop, and a few others that we will get to later on. Well, it is lap number 12, and we have been all green flag racing. A couple cars have retired or are in the pits, and it looks like Johnny Hurst is going to be one of those cars in the pits. And this could be an early pit stop. Or did he actually retire? I don't see him. Oh, yep, there he is. And there you see that Chivers, he is going to be taking those 4 fresh field goods, topping it off with that go-go juice a little bit earlier than expected. Johnny Hurst, he is not moving. Maybe he gathered a little bit of damage, but Chivers, looks like he has got to get a little bit of damage repaired, especially to that right front. But out front is going to be 3.8 seconds is Bill Stringfellow, and you got Ryan Gomes moving up to the second position. He has put a little bit of distance in between him and Brian Hennings. And James Jones working his way up one position from where he started. All right, we'll go through the field for you. And that is going to be presented by James Wagner Welding. And Bill Stringfellow started on the pole, and he is still out front. Yeah, Ryan Gomes, he's going to be up 2 positions in second. Brian Hennings started in third, and he's currently running in third. James Jones started in fifth, and now he's going to be up 1 position, trying to break the draft from Dakota Camper, which has fallen back a couple positions in fifth. And you got Chris Phillips. He's going to be the biggest mover of the race. And it looks like we got a caution on the track. Let's see if we can't find out exactly what happened. And I believe that's going to be on William Britton. He is going to bring out our first caution. Let's rewind and take a look. Oh, yeah, he just broke loose, and I do believe that is going to be turn number 2. And he is trying to save it, I don't believe he is going to be able to. But did he keep it off the wall? Kept it out of traffic so far. You have Johnny Hurst right there behind him. And maybe a little bit of wall rub. Shouldn't be too much to affect that race car. So his Ford Mustang will be able to race again. Nice looking paint scheme on the side of that number 64, the Green Room Dispensary. All right, well, that's going to be our first caution of the night. And looks like everybody should be bringing their cars down pit road. And here they all come. Bill Stringfellow. Leading them down. Now tonight they will have 3 sets of tires. Now taking the tires too early could cost you a lot in the long run. With only 3 sets of tires, you should probably try to get at least 20 laps out of a set of tires, or more, or 30. Depending on if you want to keep some, maybe for a late caution. But it looks like maybe everybody just topped off and possibly took tires. But tires are definitely a big factor here in tonight's race. Could eat up the right front if you're pushing the car too hard. If you're trying to drive off the corner too hard, you can eat up that right rear, and you can see these cars break loose. But there is your biggest mover right there, and that is going to be Chris Phillips, up 9 spots. He's going to be restarting in 6th. Bill Stringfellow still out front. Ryan Gomes going to be restarting in 2nd on the front row. Brian Hennings is going to be restarting in 3rd and 2nd row. Also, James Jones on that 2nd row. Dakota Camper going to be restarting on 3rd row along with Chris Phillips, and Matthew Gall going to be restarting on the 4th row with Chris Melton. Now, Chris Melton is going to be the 2nd biggest mover of the race so far. We haven't called his name too much, but now we are. He is going to be tied with Blake Wachowski and that number 31 Chevrolet. They are going to be starting 8th and 9th, but they are both up 8 positions. So even if it was through pit strategy, that's pretty good strategy. Let's see how it plays out for him. Now this track can be very tricky on the restarts. If you're not in the right gear or do not have the proper throttle control, you can spin the car out, spin the tires, and check up the lines behind you. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that as the pace car lights are off. I want to definitely thank our race control, and that is going to be Mr. Rev. He is going to be in the race control booth along with Miss Pottle and Shepard. All right, well, we got a couple of viewers out there on the stream. Tell us who you're expecting to win tonight. Bill Stringfellow has been a car that has been dominant so far, but you got a couple guys that could, guys and gals that could be really playing a little bit of strategy here for the long run. Tell me who you think is going to win tonight's race. I'm going to throw a wild card out there. Bill Stringfellow has shown a lot of speed, but Chris Melton definitely showing a lot of positions gained through the field, and also Chris Phillips. So I'm going to pick one of the two Chris's, either Melton or Phillips. So the 6 or the 49 is going to be my pick. All right, getting ready to take that green flag. Here they come into turn number 4. And looks like Stringfellow, he does have lane choice. He is going to choose that inside lane. I do believe he told everybody that was the lane of choice if he's in the lead throughout the race. Ryan Gomes is going to be looking to take that green flag also. And let's get ready to go back green flag racing as Stringfellow brings them to the Geico restart zone. Let's go green flag racing. Wow. Stringfellow just shot out of there like a cannon, and here comes Brian Hennings. He is going to try to capitalize. He is going to be moving up to the second position and trapped Ryan Gomes on the outside, but that outside can get a pretty good run coming out of turn number 1, and he is so far holding tight on that outside. Here comes Brian Hennings trying to look down low once again, coming out of turn number 2, flying by the camera, and are they going to have the run? Let's see. And it looks like Brian Hennings is going to have to settle right into third place as they come into turn number 3. Got a side-by-side battle. I do believe that is going to be Matthew Gall looking to the inside of Chris Phillips. And out of turn number 3, it is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Chris Phillips, but not by much. Coming into turn number 4. And Brian Hennings also looking into the outside. It looks like he may have scraped the wall in turn number 3, but he is going to fall back all the way to the 5th position. So a mistake in the 3rd cost him a couple spots, as Dakota Camper and James Jones, they have moved up a couple positions. And let's check on this battle once again, as it is kind of faded out, as Chris Phillips, he has worked himself up into the 6th position. Now he is going to be up 9 spots. And that battle kind of faded out. Now he's got his sights set on Brian Hennings, and now he is going to look to the inside as he comes towards turn number 3, along with Dakota Camper. He's got a little bit of draft. Can he make the pass? And I do believe he is going to be able to. Now Brian Hennings might have a little bit of damage on the right side of that race car, as we see the 78. He is going to try to make the pass on the 74 also. Brian Hennings does cut him off, and he not going to be able to make the pass coming out of turn number 4. Ooh, it looks like some of these cars getting a little bit sideways, and one of them is going to be Blake Wachowski. And it looks like he is going to lose a spot to Melton, as that mistake costed him just a few tenths of a second. And that is going to be the result of losing a position. Now Blake Wachowski still getting loose coming out of turn number 1, out of turn number 2. Let's see how he is going to have a lot of problems in that race car, and I do believe this is one of those drivers that elected not to take those tires. Kind of hard not to go with Stringfellow. Yes, he does. He's super fast in the next gens, but you know, could some of these other drivers kind of be holding back? I do believe so. I'm going to say that they are. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Some of these drivers may not have taken tires. Bill Stringfellow is one of those drivers that knows how to save the tires. But we'll have to see how that all plays out as we are here at lap number 20. And you saw a little bit of a wiggle from the 83 of Stringfellow. Ryan Gomes, he is going to be about 1.2 seconds back. And he has got James Jones right there on his back bumper, so we might see that battle heat up in just a few laps. But back here, back towards Melton, he has still got Wachowski right on his back bumper. These drivers are both up 8 positions. They got Madman Gall right there in front of them. And Gall is going to get sideways. So is Wachowski as they come out of turn number 4. And these cars are starting to get really loose. And that's how you can tell they're driving off of that right rear. And the fastest lap is going to go to Bill Stringfellow as he put in a 53.999. Well, the 7th place position is definitely heating up. You got Wachowski. He's going to look to the inside. He has a nice little run coming down that backstretch. Is he going to be able to get there? Not going to be able to get there, but he's going to line up with the 49. And they're going to try to make the pass. And it looks like Melton is going to be able to make the move as they come into turn number 3. And here comes Wachowski. He's going to pull the slide job also. So 2 cars pass 1 with a little bit of draft help. And Brian Hennings is falling like a rock. He is down to 6th right now, and he is under fire by Melton and Wachowski. And a little bit of battling right there in front, and that is going to be James Jones on the outside as they come across the start-finish line into turn number 1. And you got Dakota Camper. He is going to take over the 2nd position and possibly more if Ryan Gomes can get that door open on that bottom lane. He might be able to make the pass. And now they're going to all line up down that backstretch. It looks like the 3 of Dakota Camper is trying to break that draft, but he was not successful. So a 4-car trade and for 4th, all the way back to 5th position. And Chris Phillips, he is showing some good speed here, but Blake Wachowski, he is now working on the outside of the 49 of Chris Melton. So, as of right now, Blake Wachowski going to be up 11 positions. Oh, no! And it looks like Brian Hennings is going to hit the wall again. He keeps it out of traffic. And he's going to jump in behind 8th place of James Wagner coming into turn number 1. Well, Dakota Camper, James Jones, Ryan Gomes, and Chris Phillips. You're going to be right there in a line. Chris Phillips falling back just a little bit, but he's got Blake Wachowski in hot pursuit of that 5th position. 2 biggest movers of the race, and there is your 3rd biggest mover. That's going to be that 49 of Chris Melton. James Wagner up to 8th. He's going to be down 1 position from where he started. He's got Brian Hennings going to be down 6. In 9th, you got Madman Gall. He is going to drop himself down to 10th. He's going to be down 4 spots from where he started this race, and that car is looking really loose coming out of turn number 4. Back up front is going to be, I thought I saw a little bit of a battle, and that was James Jones poking his nose out and getting a little bit of that fresh air. But coming out of turn number 1, that looks like James Jones might go down a position as he is having trouble coming out of turn number 2. Down that long backstretch on lap number 24. You know what? I think it's time to crank it up just a little bit. All right, still out front is going to be Bill Stringfellow. Dakota Camper worked his way back up into the second position. That's where he started this race, and he has got a little bit of breathing room. 1.1 seconds separates him from third place of James Jones. James Jones is under fire from Chris Phillips. Chris Phillips right there tucked up underneath the back bumper of that number 50 machine, and he is trying to get a breakaway because here comes Blake Wachowski. He is got some help right there behind him. That's going to be the 49 of Chris Melton. And they have Ryan Gomes stuck on the outside. He's getting a little bit loose as he comes out of turn number 1. But he does hold it, but that's going to cost him a little bit of ground. And it looks like Melton, he is going to try to capitalize as they come down that backstretch. But he gets a little bit loose, but he does have the draft. And these 3 cars have caught. They have almost caught that number 6 of Chris Phillips. Chris Phillips having a great night here so far with lap number 27 underway. We still have about 34 laps to go in tonight's race, and now he's looking to the inside of James Jones. And here they come. Out of turn number 4, Phillips going to be a little bit sideways. That's going to maybe cost him a little bit of a few positions as he's stuck on the inside. He's got a three-car train on the outside, and that's going to be the 55 to 31. 31's going to look to the inside coming into turn number 1. That messed up Chris Phillips as he is going to go wide and scrape the wall. So, wow, a move by Blake Wachowski costed Chris Phillips quite a few positions and maybe a few scrapes and bruises on the right side of that race car. Ryan Gomes, he is having a few problems out of that right rear. As you can see, that car getting loose. He still has Melton right on his outside. Blake Wachowski is going to be right there in 4th. He is still working on the back bumper of James Jones as they come into turn number 3. I think that's turn. Yeah, that's turn number 3. It is so hard without my track map up, but it has been an exciting race. Only 1 caution here so far. William Britton brought his car back down pit road, and let's go see where he is at. And it looks like he is going to be shown in the 17th spot. And you got James Wagner. He is going to be still riding in 8th. We'll go back through the field because we had a caution while we were underway. And out front, it's going to be Bill Stringfellow. Got Dakota Camper. He is going to be right there in 2nd. James Jones up 2 spots. He is now giving up the position to Blake Wachowski as they come out of turn number 2, and that is going to be up 14. He is going to be up 14 positions, and now they are going to be 3 wide for the same real estate. Now they work it out to 2 wide, but the 49 is not done yet, and they are now both going to be tied for the biggest mover. 13 positions up, and Melton taking over that third spot from Wachowski. What a move from Melton as he makes his way up to 3rd. Blake Wachowski right there in 4th. Still a 4-car train right there in front of Phillips. But you have James Jones. He's going to be in 5th. Ryan Gomes. He is going to be down 2 spots in 6th. You got Chris Phillips. He was one of the biggest movers and still is. He's still going to be up 8 positions in 7th. Now he is going to work his way around James Jones as James Jones had a problem and he is slower than the rest of the cars, and Chris Phillips trying to put the power down coming out of turn number 2 but not able to take over that position. But you have James Wagner right there in 8th. He's gonna be down 1 spot, but he is still riding around in the top 10. Brian Henning's dropping down to 9th. And wrapping up your top 10 is going to be Matthew Gall. Jason Brent in that number 27 machine. He is down 1 position, but right outside the top 10. Just 1 mistake could put him up in the top 10. Stephen Shue in that 00. He is going to be right there in 12th. Teresa Spiker going to be in 13th. 14th is going to be Ricky Evans, and he has Larry Fairman knocking on his back door, and he is going to come. No, he's not coming down pit road. Ricky Evans had a little bit. I thought he was going for that commitment cone, but he decided he was not. So he's going to be down to 15th, and Greg Spiker right there in 16th. William Britton, he is going to be retired from the race. Mike Chivers, he's going to be still out here. He's going to be 3 laps down, it looks like. Or excuse me, 5 laps down. Britton's going to be 3. And Johnny Hurst is going to be out, and Jeff Scott going to be out. But out front, 3.8 seconds in front of Capper is going to be this man right here. That is going to be Bill Stringfellow, still on the gas, still making time. But Dakota Camper, he is making up a little bit of time. As you can see, that time has went down to 3.5 seconds. So slowly but surely, he's taking away a little bit of time. With under 30 laps to go in tonight's race, it is anybody's ball game. Anything can happen. Chris Melton going to have a little bit of breathing room from Dakota Camper. Or, excuse me, not Dakota Camper, but Blake Wachowski. And looks like Ryan Gomes still has a car to challenge in that top 5. Once again, if you are new to the channel, we want to appreciate you stopping by the Southern Broadcasting Gaming Network for the American Sheepdog first race of their season here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's been one caution in the last 33 laps. So we should be seeing green flag pit stops maybe coming very soon. They last pitted at lap number 15. A lot of these drivers may have just took fuel only or maybe just right sides. And looks like one of those cars is going to be that 31 and maybe the 55. And it's a 55 is looking to take over that 4th position from Blake Wachowski. And he's going to be able to pull it off. Now it is going to be the 31 and the 55. 31 looking right back to the inside of the 55. Not going to be able to get there this time. And they're both coming off of turn number 4. Nose to tail. Looks like the 31 had a pretty good run off of turn number 4. Is he going to look to the inside as he gets to turn number 1? And I do believe, nope, he's going to stick it right there behind the 55 of Ryan Gomes and let him have that position just for the moment. But Chris Melton, he has extended his lead out to about 2 seconds in front of Gomes. Or, excuse me, 3 seconds in front of Gomes. And that is going to be the biggest mover of the race. Now, one guy that we're still keeping an eye on is going to be Chris Phillips. He had a fast race car. He got a little bit into the wall just a little bit, and he has been riding around in the 7th position. James Jones, he had a little bit of issue. He was running up in the top 3 for just a while, and now he is finding himself back in 6th. Still a lot of racing left to go. Anything can happen, and we still have green flag pit stops, which this pit road can be very tricky, as we saw that in the truck series last night for the Wagner's Welding truck series. If you don't have that brake bias set just right, you'll spin that car around each and every time. But 3.3 seconds separates still Dakota Camper from Stringfellow as he comes out of turn number 2 and down that backstretch all by his lonesome. And now it's going to be, so Dakota Camper is kind of playing around with the time. He's making up a little bit of ground and losing a little bit of ground. So it's just going to be a matter of time. Could an early pit stop put you in a position to win? We'll have to find out. And let's see what SDK finds the most exciting race, and it is going to take us to the 10th place. Oh, no, now it's going to take us to James Jones, as he is starting to reel in Ryan Gomes once again for that 5th position. Ryan Gomes off the gas, on the gas, a lot of throttle control. Somebody coming out of the pit roads, and I believe that is going to be Fairman. Yeah, he is going to be bringing his car out of pit road. He is going to be falling back to the 16th position. Greg Spiker going to be up 5 in that number 65 Navy Chevrolet Camaro. Ricky Evans still out there on track. He's going to be right there in 14th. Now, let's ride around with Evans. Let's see what he is doing. Backing up his corners, easing on the throttle. Looks like that car is handling pretty decent. Saving fuel, saving tire? We'll have to find out. All right, Chris Phillips going to be bringing his car down pit road. Pit road speed limit is going to be 60 miles an hour. And it looks like he gets that car down to 60. Bill Stringfellow going to be still out front, 3.4 seconds. You can see Dakota Camper, he's kind of, like I said, flirting with that time. I believe he is going to be, I think he is kind of just taking it easy. You see him trail braking, and he's downshifting. In fourth gear, trail, well, he's off the gas. I think he is back here saving fuel, trying to go the extra distance as he comes out of turn number 4. He's still got 3.3 seconds behind Stringfellow. And we got some more takers, and there's going to be Ryan Gomes. He's going to bring his number 55 Chevrolet down pit road, down to 55 miles an hour. David Collins, he's going to be in pits. David Collins scored in the 19th position. Now 3.1 seconds, 3.2. Dakota Camper slowly but surely reeling in the leader. You have Melton. He's going to be about 3 seconds back, 3.2 seconds back from the Camper. So he has no challengers, but Blake Wachowski still under fire from James Jones. James Jones waiting for Wachowski to make that mistake. His car's been a little bit loose in the beginning of the run. Now it looks like it is kind of straightened out. He's still got a little bit of weaving back and forth, trying to catch that car. And out of turn number 4, looks like he is going to be good to go down the backstretch. They are still going to be nose to tail. Ricky Evans, Greg Spiker, they are going to bring their cars down pit road, and it looks like Greg Spiker has no front end. He's running that modified. No fast repair. And Brian Henning's bringing his number 74 hot rod down pit road. Love that flame job on that car. Anybody else? Greg Spiker still in pits. He's got to get a few repairs done. And here comes Brian Hennings. He's looking to get into his pit stall. 4 tires and a full tank of go-go juice for all these drivers. And here comes Stringfellow. He's staying out, and it looks like his car is starting to break a little bit loose. And I believe that is one of the reasons why Dakota Camper is able to, make up a little bit of ground. Now it looks like Dakota Camper is going to have a few lap down cars to deal with, and that is going to be the 6 and the 55 of Gomes. They're going to be on the freshest tires up here towards the leader. They're looking to get that lap back the hard way. 20 laps to go in tonight's race. We want to thank one of our sponsors, which is Admin Box. You can use ASD, not a drug, at adminbox.com for 10% off of your purchase. So we want to appreciate them being one of our affiliates, and we got a race for the lead, and it is going to be Phillips to the inside of our leader, getting his lap back the hard way. This is going to be a lot of time that he is going to make up. And here comes Ryan Gomes. He's going to be looking to the inside of Bill Stringfellow, also getting his lap back the hard way. So those two are back on the lead lap, and it looks like Stringfellow is going to be able to just let him go right on ahead. He doesn't have the tires to really challenge him. And now Camper is within 2.2 seconds of Stringfellow. Now, the way I seen it play out in the Truck Series and the Gen 6 is some of these guys pitted a little bit earlier than the leader and made up a lot of time. The only thing that really caught them was a caution, and that brought them all back together. Could Dakota Camper take a short pit and get those 4 fresh feel goods, or is he going to wait to see what Stringfellow does? But I believe if I was him, with 20 laps to go, 19 laps, you can't make it on fuel unless you've really been saving. So they might try to stay out as long as they can. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Chris Melton, he is about he is about 2 seconds back from Camper, so he's staying within striking distance. Also, James Jones, he is going to be right there still in fourth. Blake Wachowski, he fell back just a little bit. He has got the 74 of Brian Hennings right there behind him, and we have. Let's see how many laps we have left to go. We got a total of 19 laps left to go. Brian Hennings looking to the outside of the 31. 31 is going to be out of shape. Ooh, what a save. As he come out of turn number 4. That car was every which way but straight. But it still looks like he has a lot of speed in it, especially even though he has older tires. He was hanging tough on that inside line coming down the front stretch into turn number 1. And now Brian Hennings is going to try to have to get caught up to Bill Stringfellow to get his lap back the hard way. And we'll show you that battle box so you can see where everybody's at. Or actually, you know what? Let's show you the biggest movers of the race. There you have Chris Melton and Blake Wachowski up 13th and 12 positions. Chris Phillips is going to be your third. Teresa Spiker up 6 and Greg Spiker up 3. And here comes the leader of Bill Stringfellow. That's going to leave Dakota Camper out front, now leading this race for the first time tonight. You got Melton taking over second place. Yeah, and you got James Jones taking over third, and he's going to let Brian Hennings right on by. This is going to cost him a little bit of time, so he's got to make that pass quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that is all done and over with, and he's still got about 5 seconds to make up. But Dakota Camper, he is going to have a nice gap in between him and Melton, about 1.6 seconds separate those two. And Wachowski, he is decided. Oh, he missed his box. How did Wachowski jump up into the lead? That is weird. Dakota Camper, here he comes. Is he going to bring it down? Yes, he is. He's going to have a few lap fresher tires than Stringfellow, but how is this going to play out? We found out, fresher tires are a lot faster and you can gain a lot of ground, and here comes everybody else. Here comes James Jones. Here comes James Wagner as he was sitting in fourth place. Let's see where these drivers come out, and here comes Teresa Spiker. She is right now running in the 5th position. She is going to be tied for the biggest mover of the race with Chris Phillips. Coming into turn number 4. Let's see if she brings that number 70 Chevrolet down pit road this time. No, she is going to stay out. She is going to take over the lead. Bill Stringfellow not too far behind as he comes out of turn number 4. So Teresa Spiker might go a lap down, but right now she is going to be scored the leader of the race as of right now. Dakota Camper, he's going to be down and away, but can Stringfellow make it up? Because here he comes. Out of turn number 1 into turn number 2. And it looks like Dakota Camper is going to fall back just a little bit. There's only one lap separating these two drivers from tire strategy. Stringfellow still holding the fastest lap on the track. There you see Phillips and Gomes starting coming in the picture. That is going to be 3rd and 4th. Teresa Spiker still out, and it looks like she may be taking the access road to pit road. She might be out of gas. I don't believe it got any gas in it. She gonna coast it right on in. And Bill Stringfellow going to be now back out front with 16 laps to go. These drivers should be good on fuel. Chris Phillips going to be working his way back in the 3rd. You got Ryan Gomes going to be right there hot on his heels as he comes into turn number 2. They have about 8 lap older tires than Camper, so they may be able to hold a little bit of ground for a little while, but I don't know for how long. Chris Melton, he is going to be back here. He pitted at lap number 45. He is trying to make something happen, as we have only seen one caution here. A caution could throw a wrench into everybody's plans, but as of right now, we are green flag, and we are going to step aside for a word from our sponsors.
Redline Motorsports Media can help you fulfill all of your motorsports industry, photography, and videography needs. Contact Redline Motorsports Media, where everything we do is driven by you.
All right, definitely want to appreciate those two sponsors for coming on board, Redline Motorsports Media and Rev SimShot. But we also have the new one, and that is going to be Web Western. And we do have a link right there in the chat. You can click that link, and it will give you an automatic 10% off of your Western wear. They got hats, they got apparel, they got all kinds of things. Go check them out, and get that 10% off of your purchase. We also have the admin box where you can use ASD for 10% off of your purchase at admin box. But back out to the lead is going to be 4.1 seconds separating these two drivers, and that is going to be Bill Stringfellow and Dakota Camper. So the later pit stop was not an advantage, and it looks like they are still staying within that 4-second range. Dakota Camper not able to make up any time, but Chris Phillips and Ryan Gomes, they have pretty much been running nose to tail this whole time. Only 0.2 of a second separate these two. As you see, Teresa Spiker going to be in the mix, and they are trying to navigate their way around. And it looks like she's not going to give up that bottom lane. And Ryan Gomes going to look to the outside. So they got a lap down car right in between them. And it looks like James, was that James Jones? Nope. Where's the 45? 45 somewhere. Oh, where'd he go? The 49 is definitely catching up. I don't know why I thought it was a 45. It's just one of them days. Well, 11 laps to go. Going to be 10 when Bill Stringfellow hits the line. He has led the most laps here tonight. And there you see Dakota Camper coming out of turn number 4. Got Chris Phillips. You got Chris Phillips, Ryan Gomes, and Chris Melton all under one blanket. And they have Teresa Spiker right there in front of them trying to get around that lap down car. But she has fresher tires. She has the freshest tires actually on the track within this little group. And it looks like Phillips is going to be able to make his way around, and the 49 is probably going to make the same move as they come down the backstretch, lined up nose to tail. Looks like Ryan Gomes lost a little bit of momentum coming out of turn number 2, and down that backstretch they are going to be 3 wide. You got the 70, you got the 49, and you got the 6 coming in turn number 3. And it looks like the 49 might be able to hold it. He's going to pull the slide job. The 6 is going to have a little bit of a run off of turn number 3, but he gets a little bit loose. And Ryan Gomes finally trying to get around that number 70 of Teresa Spiker. And we got a blinker. And that is going to be Chris Phillips playing peekaboo with our cameras. And he is going to be able to get it straight, but he's going to fall to that 4th spot. And Chris Melton, he is going to be able to take over the 3rd. So the biggest mover is going to be Chris Melton. As of right now, you still have Chris Phillips. He is going to be up 11 spots from where he started this race. Still a lot of racing left to go, but Melton having 8 lap newer tires, that's where his speed is coming from, is those newer tires. Still, the gap right here in to your leader is extended to 4.6. It was about 4.2 a couple laps ago, and now it is about 0.4 more than what it was. Been a pretty spread out race. As we go check on the rest of the field, we have James Jones. He is going to be right there in 6th. You got Matt Mann. He is going to be right there in 7th. Brian Hennings trying to make a comeback. He is going to be right there in 8th, holding on to a top 10 if he can stay in, keep that car straight for the next 8 laps. And James Wagner, he is going to be right there in 9th, and wrapping up your top 10 is going to be Mr. Jason Brent. Stephen Shue, Ricky Evans is going to be 11th and 12th. At 13th is going to be Teresa Spiker and Larry Fairman. Going to wrap up your 14th. Blake Wachowski going to be still in the pits. He's got a lot of damage on the right side of that car. Mike Chivers, the Collinator, Greg Spiker, William Britton, Johnny Hurst, and Jeff Scott. Oh, Giggity Carl. They're all going to be out of tonight's race. Wait a minute. I may have said that wrong. Nope. Looks like the Collinator is still out there. He's not in first. Ooh, somebody got loose right there behind him. Collins, I do believe, is going to be in 17th. Yes, we are correct about that. All right, well, with 7 laps to go, anything can still happen. Bill Stringfellow, I believe he is going to have this one in the bag. Right there in front of him. Let's ride on board. I do believe that is going to be Mr. Ricky Evans right there in front of him. And let's go to Ricky Evans. Yep, that is going to be him. And there is Gearbox Cam, and there is your leader. Looking to put Ricky Evans a lap down. There will be 11 cars on the lead lap once he is able to make this pass. 6 laps to go. Coming out of turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Ricky Evans is going to sail it down to the white line. Keep Mr. Bill Stringfellow at bay. If Bill can be held up by Evans, Dakota Camper could catch up. But not as of right now. Ricky Evans is going to let Bill Stringfellow right on by. That track racer number 83 has been a dominating car all night long. Dakota Camper, he is going to be right there in second. He started in second. He's probably most likely going to finish in second. He has got about 2.6 seconds ahead of Melton. He is all by himself. He has extended his lead. Oh, as the Chris Phillips gets loose, and he's still loose. And he's going to have a little bit of help from Ryan Gomes trying to get that car straight and get the speed back in it. And Ryan Gomes is going to take over that 4th position coming into turn number 1. Wow, what a save. And they're going to be door banging out of turn number 1. Oh, Ryan Gomes going to be sideways. Nice save. This was a good battle for the 4th position, as Phillips is going to be able to make the pass on the outside. Teresa Spiker watching this out of her windshield, and that battle faded out just a little bit as Ryan Gomes got a little bit loose and lost a little bit of ground. But I don't believe it's going to be over just yet, as we are coming to 5 to go. As the leader crosses over to the start-finish line, it is going to be 4. So only 16 turns left in tonight's race. Let's go back to Ryan Gomes and Chris Phillips, as they have pretty much caught right back up to each other. They are within 0.2 of a second. That position is anybody's, but the person that is going to benefit from this the most with these two battling is going to be Mr. James Jones. He wants those two to battle it out so he can make up some ground, as we only have 4 laps to go. He's got a little bit to make up. He's got about 3 seconds. 3.5 seconds to make up, but it can be done. And coming to a 3 to go as Bill Stringfellow comes out of turn number 4. Dakota Camper comes out of turn number 4, across the start-finish line. 3 to go here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And once again, we want to appreciate everybody that came out tonight and spent your Thursday evening with us for the first race of Season 3 with American Sheepdog Racing. It's been a good one. We've only seen 1 caution. We've seen a dominant car. We've seen 2 dominant cars in the top 2. And that's going to be Bill Stringfellow out leading and Dakota Camper running in second. Chris Melton, he is going to have third if he can hold on to it. He's got quite a bit of a gap between these two that are still going at it, as they were door banging a few laps ago, and they are still within 0.2 of a second as Ryan Gomes, he is going to sail it into turn number 3. Oh, he's going to get a little bit tight and smack the wall. Oh, my goodness. And turn number 4, that is going to hurt the aerodynamics of that car driving it. Oh, and Chris Phillips got into the wall. So they got probably about the equal amount of damage. And here comes Ryan Gomes to the outside. And he is going to try to make the pass. Is he going to be able to get there? He does. Oh, this is a little bit of bumper tag going on. Oh, my goodness. And there is a caution. No. They saved it. No caution will fly, but Melton, he is going to have the worst end of that. And there is James Jones. I told you, once these two got racing, he was going to be able to benefit from it, and he moves up to the 4th position. So a couple mistakes, and James Jones, he was able to take it over, and 2 to go. Here he comes to the white flag. Is going to be Bill Stringfellow. The final lap, the white flag is out. And Dakota Camper, he wanted to see all them pretty much race it out. Because Chris Melton, he's gonna grab him a strong 3rd. He is gonna be 10 seconds in front of Jones. Jones has Ryan Gomes right there behind him. Chris Phillips, he is trying to ride his car out as we are on the final lap. Matt Mangal, he might have I don't know if he's got 6 seconds to make up. I don't think he'll be able to get there, but here he comes. I believe this is going to be turn number 4, bringing it down that front stretch for the final time. Bill Stringfellow going to win here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the opening race of the ASDR season. Dakota Kemper, he was going to bring home 2nd. And look at Chris Melton. He was coming quick, fast, and in a hurry. He got it within 1.3 seconds away from Camper. From Camper. So that was a strong finish. He had a strong race car tonight. 2 Chevrolets and 1 Ford in your top 3. And we'll let them get in there and let everybody get across the start-finish line. We'll show you that finishing lineup. What an amazing race coming to the final laps, especially between Ryan Gomes and Chris Phillips. That was some amazing racing. Love to see that kind of stuff. And hopefully that was just hard racing at its best. I enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure y'all enjoyed it at home. And hopefully there were no tempers flaring, as in racing there could be. But they were giving it their all, and definitely paid off for the viewers. All right, it looks like everybody has finished crossing over the finish line. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's results, and it's going to be Bill Stringfellow bringing home that win here tonight. He grabbed the pole award and he grabbed the win. You got Dakota Camper. He is going to finish out in 2nd. You got Chris Melton. He is going to finish in 3rd. You got James Jones. Jones is going to finish out in 4th. You got Ryan Gomes going to finish out in 5th. Chris Phillips in 6th. You got Matt Mangal. He is going to finish in 7th. James Wagner going to make it up to 8th. And Brian Hennings in 9th. Jason Brent wrapping up your top 10. 11th is going to be Stephen Shue. Ricky Evans in 12th. You got Teresa Spiker in 13th. You got Larry Fairman in 14th. Mike Shivers wrapping up your top 15. You got David Collins in 16th. You got Blake Wachowski in 17th. Greg Spiker in 18th. William Britton in 19th. And Johnny Hurst in 20th. 21st is going to belong to Mr. Giggity Carl himself, Mr. Jeff Scott, in 21st. All right. Well, that is your finishing order for tonight. And now we'll get to bring up our drivers and let them tell us about their race. Let's see. 3rd place finisher. Where is he? Where is old Mr. Chris Melton? There he is, Chris Melton. Don't you run from me. All right, Mr. Melton, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy.
Gotcha.
Man, what an exciting race. You made it within 1.2 seconds from 2nd place. You were definitely tracking them down, as if it would have went a little bit longer, you probably could have had a 2nd place finish. Man, talk to us a little bit about your race. You had some exciting racing going on.
Yeah, I decided not to qualify because I had a feeling it was going to be a little sketchy, but it turned out everybody's driving really good, so I got caught up in the back on long green flag runs and couldn't get back through, so I lost a lot of time. But I'd rather have that than everybody wrecking. So it was a really great race. Yeah, just strategy didn't work out, but it was fun, great race.
Absolutely. You, Ryan Gomes, and Chris Phillips, y'all battled it out for quite a bit. Y'all were battling for the same real estate, and that was for the 4th position at one time. And then a lap down car got in the way, and you pretty much, that's how you jumped up to 3rd. So that was pretty good to use the lap down car to your advantage. You were the biggest mover of tonight's race. I had you as my pick to win because you had a fast hot rod, but just couldn't quite get there, fell a little bit short. But, man, amazing job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all putting on a good show.
Absolutely. Well, you are no stranger to the podiums, and you know what comes next. You can give all the shout-outs you like because you definitely earned them with 60 laps here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, like I said, thanks for putting on a good broadcast. It's a great race, first race of the season, and I'd like to thank James Wagner for inviting me into the league because I really appreciate it. It was a good choice to come in.
Absolutely, can't wait to see what you can do next week. Welcome to American Sheepdog, and glad James talked you into it. I enjoy your truck races on Wednesdays, and can't wait to see what you can do next week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, man. All right, that was Mr. Melton, our 3rd place finisher, and now we are going to be able to talk to Mr. Dakota Camper as he brought home a strong 2nd place finish. And without further ado, let's bring him up. Dakota, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy, my friend.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, what an exciting race as you started in 2nd, you finished in 2nd, but you couldn't quite catch Mr. Stringfellow. Man, talk to us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I was saving fuel early on, clutching a lot, trying to make it to that lap 30 mark. I think I was going to do it. I think I was probably going to be the only one to make it. I'm not real sure on the other guys. I know Bill was not going to make it. So that caution come out, and that really killed my strategy. I had dropped back to 5th trying to save. So then that was really just go time after that. And, Bill's really good here. I ran him down at the end of that really long run, but we only had I think 18 laps when we pitted, and I needed an extra 10 or 12 to really make a run at him, but he didn't have to save, so he was just gone. There was no catching him.
Well, looks like these cars had a little bit of problem driving off that right rear. We've seen a lot of cars, get sideways coming out of some of these turns. Were you having any of that issue yourself?
Yeah, I had surprisingly, it seems backwards what I'm about to say, but when I stayed in 5th, I had much more of a problem getting sideways down the corner. But when I would go down into 4th, and I never really spun. I think I was just, I don't know if I was carrying less speed out or if I was just being more careful because I knew I was in 4th. Or if maybe just having less horsepower coming out, I was matting it a lot harder trying to get to the corner exit quicker. But for some reason, if I would shift down into 4th, I was fine on corner exit, and it really helped me in the long run because Chris Melton back there, he was saving better than me, but I think from there on back, we really gapped him.
He was running you down. He was within 1.2 seconds of your back bumper when y'all came to that checkered flag. But amazing run here tonight, man. Welcome back. First race of season number 3, get you a strong finish. Definitely going to help you out in the points, and can't wait to see what you can do next week.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and make as many as I can, so hopefully we can give Bill a run for his money for this championship. I like Bill's a good guy. He's one of my good friends when I race, and I enjoy racing him. And one thing I enjoy more than racing him is beating him, and I'm going to do that at some point this year.
I can't wait to see it. I got a little bit of bragging rights in a car that he doesn't like, and that was due to a bump and run. But man, he's a great guy, and man, y'all put on a great show here. Glad to have you over here. And you know what comes next. You can give all the shout outs that you would like to give, man.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to the Gathering Place Church. Check us out on Facebook on Sundays at 10 a.m. and on YouTube. We're on YouTube too, so come check us out if you're looking for a church. Or if maybe you can't make it to yours, you can watch us online. Also, Unchained Motorcycle Ministry. We're doing a big ride this week for the local fire department. So I'm going to raise some money for them, for the volunteer fire department. So excited to do that for them. And yeah, just you guys up in the booth. I'm sure it's going to be a fun race to go back and watch. And these guys put on a real good league and just enjoy racing here. And hopefully going to make the whole season and be talking to you several times.
Hopefully so. Well, we appreciate it, and we'll let you get down there and celebrate, and we'll catch you next time.
Absolutely. You have a good one, man.
You too. All right. Well, now we get to go talk to our race winner, and that is going to be Mr. Bill Stringfellow. Let's go ahead and bring him up. I know he's excited. Mr. Stringfellow, this is Richard up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, what an amazing run you had the car to beat tonight, and nobody could get to that back bumper. Slowly but surely, you had Dakota Camper tracking you down on that long green flag run, and then the caution comes out. But you kept your car out front. Only time your car seen traffic was during green flag pit stops. Talk to us a little bit about your race.
Yeah, I really like this track, and there's no secret that I really enjoy driving this car. I've pointed out every time last season that I got an interview, I couldn't wait to get back to it. It's good to pick up right where I left off at the end of season 1, actually. And yeah, this track and the combo with this car, if you drive it just right, you're basically not turning the wheel coming off the corner. Maybe a little counter steer, but it's all using the throttle here.
So Ricky finally gave in to the car that you wanted. We got it. We got it. No, I'm just playing. Actually, I think that was the deal. The season winner got to pick the car. So
yeah, going forward, that's going to be the new rule. This year, so we were going to alternate. From what I remember, we were going to alternate each year back and forth between the Gen 6 and the next gen. But Ricky really likes the next gen now too, so he's made it to where now the champion gets to decide the car for the next season, I believe.
Well, very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's good to see you back out in front. You know, like I said, you have a dominant car each and every week. But Dakota said he's going to get you. He's going to get you. He got second here tonight, but he's going to find the track.
I tell you what, Dakota picked up a lot of time. So we did the practice session earlier today, and he hopped in, and he was about 5 or 6 tenths off, and then here in the race his fast lap was only a couple tenths off, so he picked up a lot of time. So Dakota's always a good friend. I've been racing with him for 4 or 5 years now. It's always fun to race with him, and he is the king of fuel strategy. If it comes down to a fuel strategy race, I have no chance against him. I never do.
That was definitely one thing he did mention. He said I had the fuel and build it.
Yeah, but doing tires and all that, I think I have an advantage on him. So it's going to be a fun season. I look forward to battling with him. I'm trying to come out here in this first and second race and get a little bit of a points lead, because I know I'm going to miss the third race and maybe the fourth race of the season. So only 10 races this year, so I need to try and get all the points I can.
Absolutely. Well, Bill is glad to we are glad to have you back, and glad to see that car in victory lane. You definitely deserved it here tonight. You definitely know what comes next. You are no stranger to them. I'm gonna hand the mic over to you, and you can have the floor.
Well, it's been an adventurous past month or so since the last season ended. We moved, and I had to get everything set back up. So I want to thank my wife and little sister for helping with all that and for giving me the time to race here on Thursday nights as usual. I want to thank the admins and everyone who runs the league. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy racing here, and for the invites to come race this series. Thank you to everyone who watched in the Twitch chat tonight, and to a buddy of mine that I hadn't talked to in a while, Eric Royce, for hosting with a bunch of viewers and for the follows and all that came from that. It's been a while since I had more than one viewer in the stream, so that was fun. And hope to come back out here and do it again soon. Thank you for the broadcast, and congrats on the new network.
Well, it's kind of a new old network. I kind of
Or new old.
yeah, but definitely appreciate that. Well, Bill, go down there, celebrate, and they're probably down there waiting on you right now. And we'll catch you next week and see if you can put that car in victory lane once again.
We're going to do our best. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, that is going to conclude tonight's broadcast. We want to appreciate it. We want to say thank you to each and every one of you that joined our broadcast here tonight. American Sheepdog definitely loves to have y'all out here watching these races. They try to put on the best show as possible. And Indianapolis did not disappoint. A little single file racing here and there, but we did have some good battles, especially between Ryan Gomes and Chris Phillips. That was an amazing battle. And congratulations to our top three. They had an amazing night. But next week, we will be right back at it. Same time, same place. And let's see if we can get where we're going. Do they have the schedule posted? Probably do, and I just didn't look at it. Leave it to me. Race schedule. Here we go. All right, next week we are going to be at Kentucky. We're going to be there for 100 laps here once again in these next-gen cars. So we'll see if Bill Stringfellow can put it back in victory lane, or can Dakota Camper have something for him. But we have a couple other drivers that missed tonight that will probably be here next week. So we'll see what they can do. But it has been actually not next week. We're going to be off next week for the 4th of July. So my apologies. It's not going to be next week. It's going to be the following week. July 11th, we'll return back to the track. But just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to our sponsors. We got James Wagner Welding. We got Abbenbox. We got Web Western that came on board, and Rev Sim Shop, and Redline Motorsports Media. Almost forgot. So we definitely want to give a shout out to all the sponsors out there. We appreciate y'all being on board too. So until next time, y'all be safe. Y'all take care, and we'll catch you later. God bless y'all.